I'm 25 years old and I'm a freelance filmmaker. I make around $3,500 per day. This may sound a little clickbaity because the number I'm referring to is my day rate. I direct commercials for a living. However, my work schedule can vary greatly. Some months I can be booked for 4 to 5, 6 days a month, and some other months can be completely dry with no work coming in. And that's the reality of being a freelance filmmaker, I guess. My day rate also depends on the region I'm currently shooting in, because I'm represented in multiple different regions, including Middle East, Europe, Russia, Kazakhstan, and other CIS countries. In the Middle East and Europe, my day rate is around $5,000. And in Russia, for instance, my day rate has been and still is around $4,000, although I would say Russia is now a bit of a risky place for me to go because of its, let's say, damaged reputation. And so in Kazakhstan, where I spend most of my days and I still reside here, this is my hometown, I spend most of the days shooting commercials here, and my day rate is around $3,500 here locally. It's extremely important to note that as a freelance director, I am not paid for the prep days, for the castings, for the treatment writing, for the pitching process, for the post-production work. And so these can quickly accumulate into several weeks of unpaid work. So all in all, an average director can expect to be on set 20, 25 days a year. If you're really lucky, you can push it to 30, 35 days per year. That's, I would say, is a bit of an extreme case. And the truth must be told, my day rate is really, really low compared to some of the other top directors out there in the UK, in the US, who make tens of thousands of dollars per day. A director oversees all the facets of film production. In my case, I mainly work on TV commercials, so productions hire me to shoot ad campaigns for brands and their products. My job includes coming up with the concept and then bidding for the job. And if I get the job, then I discuss with the production team everything I want to do, take their advice, and I proceed to writing my treatment, which can take up to 2 to 3 days to be completed. A treatment is a visual presentation of the director's idea and work approach. It illustrates how I want to shoot the ad, including the casting, cinematography, editing, wardrobe, and production design, and why I have made such choices. I have a separate video coming that covers all the aspects of writing a good treatment, and so subscribe to stay tuned for that. So then, once I submit the treatment and go over the details with the production team and the agency, we start the prep work. A pre-production work typically includes things like casting, location scouting, tech scouting or a recce, wardrobe fitting, callbacks, rehearsals, set builds, and storyboarding. All these tasks are essential to ensure a successful shoot and can take up to a few weeks leading up to the shoot day. After weeks of preparation, we finally arrive at the shoot day, or 2, or maybe even 3 days in a row. And shooting multiple days in a row typically indicates that we're working on a massive project. But to be frank with you, those situations are extremely rare, and these days clients try and minimize their budgets as much as they can, and they do their best to squeeze in 3 days of shoot into a single day. Unfortunately, that's the reality we're living in. Post-production work begins shortly after the shoot day is done, and to be honest with you, this is where I take my foot off the gas and let the post-production team do their thing. The editor edits the footage, and the colorist then proceeds to, color grading my project. And then typically most of the things are done remotely, and I don't even have to be in close proximity to them geographically. So occasionally I provide some minor comments and suggestions, and they work on them. But yeah, I normally work with the same guys, with the same crew, so they know me very well and they know my preferences, so I don't really have to do a lot on the post-production side of things. Then the sound designer and the music composer do their part, and voila, the final product, the commercial, is ready to air on national TV, and that's when I get paid. So how did I become a director? Well, to become a successful commercial director, I really needed to hit 3 things right. First, I needed to build a portfolio with a consistent personal style and visual tone that only I could create and only I could present. So even if you watched a deck of 20 commercials for the same brand, I think you would be probably able to tell which one is mine. So that's the point of, having a consistent portfolio so that you yourself can replicate your work better than anybody does. At the beginning of my career, it was really hard for me. I was trying different styles, different storytelling techniques, different editing techniques, a lot of different genres. I made a lot of spec commercials, which is, in a nutshell, is like a fake commercial for a brand that doesn't even know you exist. These types of spec work, they have helped me out a lot to kick off my career. And yeah, overall, it took me probably about 3 to 4 years to finally be able to understand what I like shooting, and more importantly, what I don't like shooting. And of course, my style is still evolving, and I hope it's ever evolving, because otherwise I would probably become irrelevant. 2, I needed to understand the intricacies of treatment writing. The treatment writing is the essential step in the pitching process. I think if you get the treatment right, then the job is basically yours. Now, there's a lot of things that go into the treatment writing process, such as describing your casting, your ideal acting performances, and articulating your vision onto how the image is going to look like. I have a complete 50-page Director's Treatment 101 ebook that delves deeply into my treatment writing process and can provide a lot of value, clarity, cohesion, and overall up the quality of your treatments. It's only $30, so check out the link in the description of this video. 3, I needed to build my network. This is natural, but it takes time. You come across different people on set. Sometimes it could be even a PA or like a truck driver introducing you to a friend of a friend who could probably potentially help you out to land your next big music video. This is why I never neglect taking my time and energy to invest into developing relationships when I'm not shooting, when I'm off the set. Did I study to become a director? Not really. I don't have a degree in film directing, but I do have a bachelor's degree in marketing, and I have finished the business school, yeah. However, I have taken multiple directing courses online. I have paid for them. A lot of master classes from industry professionals. The majority of what I know today, I have learned on this very platform, on YouTube. I watched a ton of YouTube channels like Film Riot, Corridor Crew, Video Copilot, or solo creators like Matti Hapoya, Matt Workman, Danny Gevirtz, Simon Cade. Hence, I started my own YouTube channel, this one, as a means of giving back to the community that helped me out so much in the beginning of my career. I think the future of education is creators like myself, Danny Gevirtz, Lewis Potts, and countless other online creators who are not necessarily teaching you something, but actually sharing their experiences, sharing their unique path, and creating like a blueprint for other filmmakers to follow along. I believe that the school system just can't keep up with the pace of technology and the business and the economy evolution. And I think paying upwards of $25,000 per year is just, I cannot justify it. That's just crazy. Nowadays, many productions are considered hybrid productions, as they not only produce the videos themselves, but they offer creative services, like coming up with the creative. So they basically eliminate the need for a creative agency in the middle. And they also represent their own directors on roster. These productions are particularly appealing in this current day and age, as they cut the middleman and they shorten the gap between the idea creation and its execution, which is a plus, and it saves a lot of time for clients. I always say if you can't name 5 productions and 5 ad agencies, you have to go back and do your homework, man. It's essential for you to know the hottest productions in your town and get them to see your work. Contact them and offer them to have a meeting, have a coffee, get them to know you personally, because it's one thing to see somebody's portfolio, and it's a completely different thing to know who the person behind the portfolio is. This is what makes the difference between somebody who has a slick portfolio but no work, and somebody who's always busy shooting and, has a ton of work coming in. multiple income streams. Remember how I mentioned there are dry months in this industry, like during winter when there's no work coming in, the industry is dead basically. No matter how successful a director you are, you can't avoid these periods because it's bigger than one person. It's the whole industry. It's like nobody's shooting, and those happen to everybody, and you really can't overcome those. And so you have to be prepped for those. I think you might be able to save up enough money to make ends meet, but I personally, I hate the stress of seeing my bank account dwindle. I hate it. And that's why I think it's extremely important to have multiple income sources, income streams. I understand you're an artist and you don't like the money talk. And if you're still watching this video, thanks for that, by the way. Click that subscribe button. But this video is also my attempt to grow this channel. This channel is my attempt to grow my business. I have big plans for this YouTube channel. I hope this is gonna be my second or third income stream while I'm not out there directing commercials. I can still do videos for this channel and hopefully make it grow. In my opinion, this is a great way to find purpose and meaning while I'm having those dry months. And while there's nothing wrong with working unrelated jobs, I think it's preferable that your secondary income stream is somehow related to your directing career. Like in my case, I edit music videos or commercials for my director friends, and so while I'm not out there directing commercials myself, I'm still honing my storytelling skills, and it kind of makes me a better filmmaker overall. So, my friend, this is everything I wanted to share with you today. Feel free to drop some questions and comments and subscribe to my channel. And follow me on other social media channels where I share glimpses of my directing lifestyle. Bye.